We're wasting no time today. If you're ready to see how, over the past day or so, Drake has revealed that he's not just a fan, but genuinely obsessed with Kendrick Lamar in one of the strangest ways imaginable, then let's get into it. Based on what Drake has accidentally liked on social media, we can now say that he may still be secretly admiring and enjoying Kendrick Lamar's music behind the scenes to this day. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. What we're beginning to see from Drake is exposing him as not just one of the most insecure figures in the industry, but, to quote Kendrick Lamar in reference, not like us, someone who embodies those lyrics more than ever because they have essentially come to life. Drake has now shown that he is genuinely fixated on Kendrick Lamar, not simply because Kendrick is his rival or because he beat him in a rap beef, but because he's truly infatuated. He appears to be taking notes and adding Kendrick's moves to his own playbook. Anyone close to Team Drake will not like this, nor will they want to hear the truth. So make sure to support the channel so everyone can see what's really going on. Let's start with the fact that over the past 24 to 48 hours, if you've been paying attention to the rap world, amid all the strange conflicts and people getting exposed, Drake has been at the center of it. Through his recent Complex interview, where he discussed the Iceman creative process, and through certain posts he accidentally liked on social media, he has revealed that he is still captivated by Kendrick Lamar in a way that's unsettling, especially considering the image he tries to project his fans. What we're finding out is that Drake is essentially a Kendrick Lamar stan. Maybe we need a new term for this, because Drake seems to be developing a sort of fixation where, after losing so thoroughly to someone, being outsmarted, outplayed, and defeated at every turn, you become strangely fascinated with them. While he tried to hide it for years, Drake is now giving us undeniable evidence that he might actually be Kendrick Lamar's biggest fan. There are two major things we need to look at to understand how Drake is finally slipping up and revealing this. The first involves something strange he did on social media. People noticed that Drake liked a video of Hoy rapping Kendrick Lamar's Swimming Pools over one of Dax's beats. This has been a trending format, and Hoy appears to be joining in, but Drake publicly liking the post is what's raising eyebrows. There are only two explanations. Either Drake wanted people to see that he liked it, which seems off-brand, considering Kendrick has dismantled his entire image, or Drake accidentally liked it while watching the video, once again revealing that Kendrick is always on his mind. And for a grown man who has insisted that Kendrick is his biggest rival and the worst thing that has ever happened to his career, this is a new level of pathetic. But things get even worse. The ongoing meme connecting Drake to Kendrick, particularly the squabble up moment, has never felt more accurate. Kendrick's music continues to act like a mirror, reflecting everything happening around Drake. It's as if there's always a Kendrick bar that perfectly fits the moment. Making this even more embarrassing is Drake's recent Complex interview about the Iceman Rollout and his attempts to promote an album that already looks a complete disaster. And now, with every move Drake has made, and even with the weak explanations he's offered to justify them, he has only made things worse. His attempts at damage control have simply given people more reasons to laugh at him. One moment in the interview stands out as especially important when looking at the bigger picture and understanding where Drake is mentally right now. It's a quote that he's being heavily dragged for, and one that has his own fan base feeling embarrassed. It reveals not only that Drake is secretly fixated on Kendrick Lamar, but that his fan base has become similarly obsessed. This isn't just about secretly liking Kendrick's music or quietly respecting him. It's about Drake's fans wanting Drake to become everything that Kendrick already is. When you consider the way they talk about Kendrick publicly, or the way Drake himself has tried to belittle him, throwing subliminals, suggesting Kendrick's success is inorganic, or implying that he rigs the game, it becomes even more ironic. After all of that disrespect, Drake is now attempting to imitate the very things that make Kendrick unique. This has created a moment where Drake and his fan base must confront a harsh truth. Collectively, they're trying to become Kendrick Lamar for dummies. And to see the quote that exposes all of this, combined with everything else we've observed about Drake modeling his recent moves after Kendrick's ethos, makes the situation even more transparent. The quote comes from Drake's discussion about his interactions with fans and conspiracies surrounding Iceman streaming numbers. He says he watches documentaries, he can't name them due to platform restrictions, and explains that once you get invested, You start trying to solve things before you know where they're heading. He describes as a sleuth energy, saying things like, "What did I learn? What did I miss? Wow, this guy is the worst." He then comments on people making 2 or 3 hour videos full of theories and conspiracies, calling it interactive content that he finds more desirable than a music video filled with cars and tings. It's difficult to get through a sentence like that without cringing. Drake then adds, "Not that those aren't lovely sometimes," trying to pretend he's suddenly pro-intellectualism while still trying to appease his anti-intellectual rap buddies. It's a clumsy attempt to fit in with both groups at once. The funniest part is watching Drake stans react as though they've been validated, acting like Drake loves their wild theories. They're now doubling down, creating even more conspiracies, and doing anything they can to give this wannabe art house experiment some legitimacy it simply doesn't have. It's ironic because for years, truly longer than that, Drake stans have consistently ridiculed Kendrick Lamar and his fan base of being too intellectual. With Kendrick, every detail in his music, visuals, performances, and overall presentation is deliberate, encouraging fans to think deeply and analyze the layers beneath the art. Drake fans mocked this, claiming people were reading too much into things, insisting that music should just be fun and not a history lesson. They held on to those anti-intellectual bars Drake rapped in Family Matters, as if they were gospel. And now, after all that clowning, to hear Drake say he loved the very same type of thoughtful engagement Kendrick has inspired his entire career is hilarious. Kendrick's work naturally sparks conversation, invites interpretation, and brings his community together to uncover deeper meaning. Drake and OVO are now desperately trying to cosplay that level of intellectual artistry, because it's the only lane they have left. Isn't it funny how the turntables have turned? They become the exact people they used to mock for caring about music, and for appreciating the meticulous details that artists embed in their work. With Drake openly acknowledging this as a benefit of the Iceman era, the rollout, the streams, and everything surrounding it, it becomes clear that after losing the beef to Kendrick and seeing his undeniable impact, Drake must have taken notes. For the first time in his career, regardless of how good or bad his output is, and let's be honest to Drake's fans, good or bad doesn't matter, because all of this Pinocchio-style filler is exactly that, filler. He is actively trying to mimic Kendrick's artistic philosophy, and it truly seems like there's absolutely no merit to any of this. Yet with Drake trying to act like there are hidden details, deeper meaning, or some grand artistic purpose behind this era, it has, at least to an extent, worked on his fans. They've created theories that give the Iceman rollout and lore far more depth than Drake ever intended. Maybe that was a point. Maybe it wasn't. Either way, Drake has clearly been studying Kendrick Lamar. Once again, we're seeing Drake turn into Kendrick Lamar for dummies, wearing it openly whether he admits where he learned it from or not. And honestly, that's the funniest part of all this. Think about it. Drake and his fans spent years proudly standing on the opposite side of Kendrick, mocking every detail Kendrick put into his work. They dismissed his depth as overthinking, said people were doing too much, and accused Kendrick fans of inventing meaning to compensate for not having music as catchy as Drake's. Now look at what Drake has done. He took Kendrick's playbook, created his own version of it, and has been conditioning his fans to think the same way Kendrick's fans do. Question everything, never take any moment at face value, and search for layers beneath the surface. Drake is pushing to treat his music the way Kendrick's music naturally demands to be treated. And even after taking that entire approach, even after essentially following the How to Be Kendrick Lamar for Dummies guide from Squabble Up, he still managed to make an album rollout built on Kendrick's precedent look clumsy and forced. Despite borrowing the winning formula behind the biggest rap album of 2024, still the biggest rap album of 2025, and one of the greatest runs in hip-hop history. Despite taking ideas that have changed the culture, Drake still failed. And truly, this is the most Drake outcome imaginable. It's genuinely hilarious to see Drake essentially explain, yes, I copied Kendrick Lamar's blueprint, only for the Iceman rollout to remain stuck in the hole it started in. Drake abandoned the traditional Drake presentation and attempted a Kendrick-style approach. Try to appeal to more thoughtful, intellectual engagement in what his project means and what he wants fans to walk away with. But from the uninspired theories to the songs lacking any momentum, you're left with the conclusion that Drake and the entire OVO fan base must be illiterate. Because even with the How to Be Kendrick Lamar for Dummies guide in hand, they still couldn't understand it. And with all that, this is simply too funny. If you can't see how Drake has become obsessed with Kendrick Lamar in every single aspect of his life, social media trolling, interviews, aesthetic choices, and even crafting an album largely centered around him, let's break it down. Drake has taken Kendrick's approach of challenging fans to engage deeply, think critically, make theories, and look beyond the surface. That alone is Kendrick's blueprint. Then he tried to create the very kind of art house concept project Kendrick would make. Whether inspired by Kendrick Lamar or loosely centered around dissing him to the whole Pinocchio concept, Drake has been trying to weave in conspiracy-themed narratives about Not Like Us, the lawsuit surrounding it, and claims that the song was artificially boosted to sabotage his career. Altogether, from studying Kendrick on the back end to dissing him publicly, Iceman is essentially an album built around the horror, yes, the horror, that one man has inflicted on another. And while this approach is different, at least in optics, from Drake's recent albums, you would think that on paper it might be more compelling. But when you see that every single song has failed, the project has zero momentum, and that if it dropped today, it would likely post the worst numbers of Drake's career, even worse than SSS, it becomes clear just how far his momentum has collapsed. This is an opinion. You can see it happening in real time. From What Did I Miss to Which One to Doghouse, the rollout looks rough, and the downfall we're witnessing is undeniable. As things continue to unravel, remember this. Whenever Drake, OVO, or stands offend the music they claim to love, understand that they've reached a point where they've lost so much that they've secretly become fans and admirers of the very man who destroyed them. The guy they once mocked has become the artist they subconsciously study. That's all I've got for today. Let me know your thoughts on this strange obsession Drake now has with Kendrick. An obsession that shows Kendrick is in his mind no matter what he does. It's caused Drake to copy Kendrick's entire approach for Iceman and fail spectacularly, hitting a new all-time low. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you. I genuinely appreciate your support. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and happy Thursday. We're almost at the finish line. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, and I truly appreciate it. And listen, if you want to see what happened on the other side of the big three with the other guy in rap, who's proven himself to be a snake, a fake, and a fraud, none other than J. Cole, well, he hasn't just betrayed Kendrick Lamar or Drake. He's betrayed the entire rap game. From Wall to so many others, J. Cole has shown himself to be one of the fakest friends in the industry and possibly the fakest person in music altogether. You're not going to want to miss that breakdown, so check out the suggested video.